Welcome back. Today I want to talk about job tickets. Several of you have asked to have a copy of my job ticket, and I have obliged, and there is a link below for the PDF and the InDesign document. And today I want to go over kind of what I put in there, why, and how I use them to manage what's going on here on a daily basis. So as many of you already know, I am the only one in production here. So for a lot of jobs, I don't even need a job ticket. But for more complicated jobs and jobs that take several days to produce, it's nice to have things written down, basically for confidence. So I don't have to think like, oh, was that 80-pound cover or 100-pound cover, or print quantities and things like that are a definite need. Now, sometimes if it's a really quick job, same day turn, and I know everything about it, I'll just write something on a piece of paper, like this right here. So here I just have a blank sheet of paper. I'm doing booklets right now. There's 18 pages to the PDF file, and I write that down because the first two are the cover, and that's on color on a different sheet, and then the rest of the document is black and white. So I do the first 2 pages and then 3 to 18. And if there's multiple up, I'll often, do my math and then just circle the print quantity. So they need 190. I'm going to print 200 of these since I'm going to be saddle stitching them. Then I'll have plenty of extras just in case. And the other thing I often do with job tickets, especially when I have multiple jobs going at the same time, is I put the ticket wherever the job is. So right now I have the covers printed, the guts are printing. I put that ticket with it just to keep everything together. Often in the beginning of a morning that's really busy, I'll have all my tickets laid out here, and I lay them out in the order that I want to print them. So I'm printing the jobs here, I'm getting ready for these jobs here, and I kind of move them along. So, if I have black and white text printing, I'll put that ticket over here as it's running, and then I'll move all my tickets forward right here. And then likewise, when that one's done, I'll take the ticket, stick it on top, and then push it towards the cutter, so then I can go to the next step, which is finishing. So that's how I organize my day-to-day workflow here. And I'm very much a visual person, and that's why I've never hopped on board with software to do this. It's a lot easier for me to just visually look at my print shop and say, okay, I got that running on that running on that machine, and there's a ticket with each job wherever it is. So for example, I've just got a couple books here that I'm working on, and I got the job ticket with it, and I can always see, and I'll show you in just a second. The reason I have a job ticket with these is that job ticket tells me where those books go, so I don't have to remember. It's always right there. And even for some jobs, I don't do a job ticket. I don't write things down on a piece of paper, but instead I make an invoice and print that out, and I have all pertinent information on my invoice line. And that's so in a year or 2 years or 2 months, when I get the reprint, I have the information right there on my last invoice, just like this. So here you can see 150 booklets, 36 pages. Then I have the type of paper for the cover and the type of paper for the text, and then saddle stitched. That's really all I need to know to do the job. And I mean, there's other little details that I already have in my head, like the cover is color and the inside's black and white. I really don't need to remember that. I basically need the print quantities and page counts for what I'm doing. it is such a treat for me to do corner stapled jobs. I never get to do those. And now I got 2 machines running corner stapled jobs. That's so nice. You just take it off the printer, put it in a box, and out the door. Okay, enough messing around. Let's get back to job tickets. So sometimes, like this print job, some in-house flyers, I don't do job tickets for that either. Somebody will just give me this, and then I know that means I need to print it. So I got a couple things lined up for the next day here, and let me go over here maybe. So it's pretty simple. Basically, all the information that I need to do a job is on here. If I need to give the proof to somebody, if somebody wants to see a proof before we print, that gets checked off up there. And I would say half to 3/4 of this I don't even touch. But there are, well, I'll just go through filling this out like it's a job. Let me get a pencil. Okay, so up top here is print quantity and imposition type of thing. So I'm going to fill this out like I'm doing a perfect bound book. Let's just say I want 100 books, and it's a 5.5 by 8.5, which is the size of this ticket. I'll just put up that it's 4 up, and my print quantity is 25. Half the time I don't put the page count in there, but sometimes I do just in case I need it. Then it's on the sheet. So then down here, let's just say it's a black and white book, so I circle mono, and all of our books are saved by author last name, and then some rendition of what the title is, and then imposition. So it would be saved like that: last name, something about the title, and how many up. And then it's real simple. The type of paper would be 60-pound text. Since it is a 4 up, 5.5 by 8.5, I'm going to be printing that 4 up on a 12/18. Finished size, 5.5 by 8.5. Perfect bound. It's going to be a full color cover. 4/0. Pretty much everything's 12-point laminate. The difference in sheet size, I'm basically using the same sheet size for anything, but the grain direction would change. So if this is a 5.5 by 8.5 and a low page count, chances are I can do 2 up on a long grain sheet. So, whoops, 1319 would be a long grain sheet. And then down here is going to be what happens next. So if you know, a couple copies want to go out to the author, and then 90 copies go to the warehouse, and then warehouse location, or if they're going to pick them up, or if we're going to send them freight, and how that gets mailed, and an address if necessary. And then there's lots of other information in here too for other jobs that aren't books. You know, if it's going to be saddle stitched, or if it's going to be made into tablets, fan apart. I pretty much never use shrink wrap anymore, but I do use it from time to time. But then different spiral binding, and then, you know, some space for notes as well. And I have a line here for folding. And this up here too, I hardly use as far as what machine I want to print it on, because that can vary. So a due date, job name, and that's basically all I need to get a job done, because then with this information I can hop on the server and pull all the artwork in. Oh, there's also a a name for the cover, which would be author name, title, and then cover. So that's basically what I use this for. And when you have multiple people in a business, it's really handy because it holds all the information that you need when you're handing that information from person to person. So it works out real well for me. So hopefully that answered some questions as far as what needs to be on a job ticket for me. But the reality is for you and your print shop, it could be something completely different because of the equipment, the types of things you're printing, and the amount of information you might need on a job ticket. I mean, there's some people have job tickets that's twice to 4 times that amount of information. I better throw that out before I think I have a job to do. Nice. I don't even have to stay late to finish it since I split it between 2 machines. Well, as always, if you have something to add to what is needed in a job sheet, put it below so everybody can learn together. Got lots of printing for me to do next week, and I'm going to be on vacation. Figure that one out. I still need to perf all those NCR. I got a bunch of booklets. Oh, that'll be fun. We'll see you then.